So you mentioned that some companies have their own data. It doesn't matter what is the data, but they collect data from their customers. In your you mentioned manufacturing, or from their CRM systems, or from any kind of like their own domain. And in that case, of course, ChatGPT would not know what they know about their customers. But in many cases, and correct me if I'm wrong, the data is not so easily digested. It's not like, okay, that's our data. Let's build something, and then ta-da, we have an answer. There's lots of work done in order to get these answers from the data to the model. The model maybe is even like 20% or so, but most of the work is with the data itself in order to get some kind of insights and understanding on these machines, for example.
That's right. That's right. So here, it depends. First of all, of course, if you don't, by the way, if you don't have data at all, then okay, you're doomed. Okay,
You're
it's
doomed.
really
You have nothing
it's
to
a
do in this
problem.
world. You don't have data.
But no, you know what? I don't agree with it. You still have something to do with that because you can like take interesting approaches to look for other data that might be similar to the one you don't have. So, for
Yeah.
example, maybe you can look for some data sources out there, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit
Of
problematic.
course, if you're a startup, you don't have data. You need to start with something. So you need to
Exactly.
gather data from outside.
But I have a solution. So if you're a startup and you have a little data, you have all these great models. Yeah, if we take about image processing or like text processing, all these generative models, you really can perform this process of fine tuning, like um, we call this also transfer learning, like to make the global model, the general model, like more suitable for your needs. And now the thing is that these huge models are trained in the way that it's like let's talk about like image processing, for example. Okay, so these huge models, they know how to understand pictures. Okay, in simple words. Think about it. It's like when you have a newborn child. At the beginning, he doesn't know when he sees like some creature. He doesn't know whether this is a cat or a dog or I don't know or a horse. But then when he like gets some experience from his life, he starts to understand. Okay, this is a cat, and maybe this is a black cat, and this is a white cat, and this is like a brown cat. But they all cats. They might seem different, but they're all cats. Now think about it, this child that now like has some understand he grows, so he has some understanding about the whole world, and now we can like totally identify various objects. Now let's think I can really take this grown-up person and, for example, teach him in the field of medicine. I can teach him to look um, um, at the photos, let's say, of various screenings or something like that, and to say, okay, this here we do see a problem, and here we don't see a problem.
Yeah.
So you can like learn this specific skill, but how do you learn it? Because you just know how to understand how to identify objects, right? And that's why
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
identify something specific. Now, why I'm talking about it? Because we already now have a lot of tools. Again, you even don't need to know how to code for them, but we have a lot of tools that, for example, provide you this kind of generic model for image processing, for example. And I really saw it by myself. I mean, I couldn't believe it if I wouldn't do it by myself. But I saw that you just can actually go into this tool. You can upload 10 pictures, okay,
10?
with 10. I
10.
really 10 pictures of various, let's say of two classifications. And you just upload 10 pictures, 5 of this kind, 5 of that kind, and then it just fine tuning is performed so well that you can just the 10 pictures are enough for training. Okay,
Enough? But 10 is
enough.
like nothing.
Exactly.
And
I will tell you. I will even tell you the exact example of what they did there. Uh, um, so actually, it was a tool that we tried to implement. Like you want to see when you talk with someone on Zoom, you want to see how many attention do you get from the person. And so there was a tool that like sampled your picture every second or so, and then we try to understand when the person looks straight into the camera or like on you, or whether I'm turning around and then, like my face is. So now we really saw this a solution of like, we took 10 pictures, 5 pictures of person looking straight into the camera, 5 pictures of a person looking around, and the model was trained perfectly. I mean, we got like 98% accuracy.
Wow.
So it's incredible. I mean, you just really need to know that these tools exist. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's totally UI user friendly. You just go to some web page, upload 10 photos, like click a couple of buttons. That's all. It's ready.
Yeah, but I think it's a very specific use case. Let's say I would be, I know, an X-ray expert who's looking for a specific kind of a tumor. It's something that is very specific, because right now they need to understand what is my face and where do I look and where is my profile, and if it's like in front of me. This is something that more or less, in order to understand what's in front of them and to recognize that I'm still me when you're looking like this, it's something that they need to know if they have any kind of face recognition. But if it's something so specific as a kind of tumor within an X-ray, I don't think the 10 would be enough, right?
Yeah, you're right. But again, according to what I see, it looks like, okay, so maybe you will have like 200 pictures and it will be enough. I mean, you will not to have like millions of pictures or thousands or even not thousands. I think